Hello, welcome. My name is Ovindako. Welcome. Please subscribe to this channel, share the channel with your friends and family. Today, I want to share with you as an African that you should read as an African entrepreneur. Reading, they say, make leaders, and I so believe it. Growing up, there were a lot of books that I chanced on to read, and I wanted to find out, just life. So I read many books outside the one that they were teaching us in the classroom. I didn't so much. I loved the finding out about life, about the things that were, what I had to do with my life, and I felt that reading books. And so there are books that if you read and you commit to them, the difference between men is really the knowledge that they have, and a lot of the times it's the books that they have read. Unfortunately, most people don't read books at all, but they so believe that their lives will change. I think that if you're an entrepreneur, especially African, and you are not passionate about knowledge acquisition, reading, studying, finding out, stretching your mind, the journey will be a bit tough for you, because there are a lot of things that you must separate in your mind all the time. So in the first book, of course, I will talk about my own book perspective, how to develop the mindset to start and build your own business. It's a good book, very small book, but it's a good book, easy to read. I'm sure within a day or two you'll be done. But there's a lot. It talks about some of the things that I, trying to find out about myself as an African youth, having gone through college and all those, and trying to start a business. Some of the things that I found out. It's a good book. You should get a copy. The next one that I think you should read is The History of Africa by Asante Kete Molefi. You should read. If you're an African, there's a lot that, if you grew up here, there's a lot that you don't know. You may be familiar with the traditions and the culture, but the data, the history of Africa before the Europeans came, it's very much important you find out constructively yourself, not the one that the Europeans are telling us. This one is also a perspective for an African, so you should read that. I read that book, and there was a lot heavy, it's loaded, so you should find that one out. The next book that I think you should read is Civilization or Barbarism by Sheikh Anta Diop. A friend of mine gave me that book some years ago. I read it. It was a great book. You should read it as an African entrepreneur. You must find out. If you don't find out a lot of these things in the history, especially, there will be a lot that you will not understand. The next one is White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. You'll be able to understand the powers that run the world based on color. Find a copy and read. The good thing about a lot of these books is that you can find them on Kindle, Amazon Kindle, or you can even order the hard copy from them, or go to any bookshop and ask. They will help you. The next one, and all these books, I've read them actually. I've read them, some of them multiple times. Race, Religion, and Racism by Apostle Frederick Casey Price. It's volume 1, 2, and 3. You should read them. Find out. Get copies of them. The next one is Africa 101, The Wake Up Call. It's a recent book that Dr. Arikana Chu Hombori Kwao, a great woman, great African woman, who is waking a lot of Africans up all around the globe, all around the world. So you should find that copy. It's on Kindle as well. The next one you should read, fantastic. If you don't have your mind rightly set, life will not be rightly set for you. If you're an African youth especially, I think that by the time that you are 25 or 30, you should have read a lot of books. It's not that beyond that you're going to stop, but that is the time that you really have to structure your mind well. And if you have the right information, life, you will know what to do. But if you don't have the right information, life becomes a lot more like, a daunting work. So next one is the birth of a White Nation by Jacqueline Bata Laura. Birth of a White Nation. You understand some things. You read. These are books that I recommend for Africans, especially those who are doing business, because sometimes you see great business people, but when they talk, they put Africa down. They blame Africa. They become hopeless of the prospects of Africa, and you can see that they have not studied. Most people talk out of their emotions, but when it comes to a lot of things that work, you should not talk about out of your emotions. You must have data, and most of these books were written with backed by historical facts. Most of these books were done. Majority of them, especially those that deal with history and things that happened, they were written with facts, with data, with research. Facts, data, research. Many people will argue facts with their emotions, with their personal experience. We are talking about facts, data, things that people have gathered over a span of time in different places. You can make a better judgment when you making decisions based on facts, and when you educate yourself on the facts. And so if you don't know that, then next one. My name is Obinna. I'm talking about some books that you should consider to read as an African entrepreneur. As an African, even if you're an entrepreneur, you must read as an African. Just as an African, there are books that you must read. I mentioned The History of Africa by Dr. Kete Asante Molefi. Kete Asante. I talk about my book, Perspective. It's about business and developing the mindset. Sometimes you hear great people talk, and all the examples they give, examples that were, mainly foreign. The next one I talk about White Fragility by Robin Angelo. It's a great book. I read it. And Civilization or Barbarism by Sheikh Anta Diop. Race, Religion, Racism by Dr. Frederick Casey Price. Great book. Africa 101. The Wake Up Call by Dr. Arekana Chuhombori Kwao.